On the behalf of Riva Engineering College, it gives us immense pleasure to assemble all our audience under the umbrella of today's session. In the service of nation since 1964, Riva Engineering College has mounted. We have MBA gradings in our three branches and has both UG and PG programs in the campus. Our today's session, which is an initiative by Training and Placement Cell and REC Pedia, named as Alumni Circle Hirak Jayanti Lecture Series by our respected alumni, giving us a golden opportunity to organize these Impact Lecture Series to sensitize and motivate students and faculties during their academics. These Impact Lecture Series not only establish streamlined campus innovation and guidance ecosystem, but also helps in establishing strong connection with alumni at regional and national level. Our Alumni Circle's mission is to provide guidance, host technical talks, offer placement assistance, and cultivate essential soft skills to ensure students are job ready. Through our supportive network of alumni, we aim to equip students with the knowledge and resources they need to succeed in their professional endeavors. Guinea Romiti rightly said, some people call this artificial intelligence, but the reality is that this technology will enhance us. So instead of artificial intelligence, I think we'll augment our intelligence. For our today's talk, at guiding our students, we are honored to welcome our one of the esteemed alumni from the batch of 1987, Mr. Sameer Bhatnagar sir. He will be sharing his insights on the topic, the impact of AI on job in the future. Let's eagerly listen and learn from his expertise to better prepare ourselves for the challenges and opportunities in the rapidly evolving technological landscape. Now, I request Shobika to welcome our today's guest of honor. Over to you, Shobika.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Riva Engineering College, we are honored to have our esteemed guest, Shri Sameer Bhatnagar sir, along with participants and speakers joining us today for this enlightening session focused on the impact of AI on jobs in the future. Our alumni have not only distinguished themselves but have also greatly enhanced the prestige of our institution. We are privileged to have such a diverse and engaged audience with us today. We highly encourage active participation, questions, and discussions as we navigate through the understanding of the impact of AI on jobs in the future. Your input and engagement will make this insightful session truly enriching for all. We are delighted that you have chosen to join us for this interactive session, and it is a pleasure to facilitate this valuable interaction. Now, I would like Tanish to have the introduction of a guest to the audience.
Uh, Thank you, Shobika. Thank you for the privilege of introducing Sri Sameer Bhatnagar sir, a revered figure in the realm of technology and innovation. Hailing from the prestigious tech hub of Silicon Valley in the United States, Sameer sir illustrious career spans decades of groundbreaking contributions to the field. A luminary in his domain, Sameer sir holds an electrical engineering degree from REC Riva and advanced certifications in system design and business intelligence from renowned institutions. His journey has taken him through esteemed organizations such as Asana, LinkedIn, Google Cloud, and Sun Microsystem, where his expertise in AI, ML, and cloud technologies has left an incredible remark. Today, we are honored to explore the impact of AI on future jobs under Sameer Sir guidance. His insights and innovation have not only shaped industries but also inspired a generation of technologists. Thank you for joining in this enlightening discussion. Over to you, Vaishnavi.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving your time. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. This is so nice to see every one of you from my college. I can I get a little emotional about from the coming from GC Riva and my days in Riva. When this offer came into, if we can contribute towards the growth of the graduates coming out from there, it is such an honor, and it is such a heartening to see that we have such a technology now that actually we can talk, we can see each other, and also see how you guys are doing it. I mean, like, you guys are much more better than us in 87. Okay. So you give yourself a big kudos, and being on the front, forefront of the learning. Because I remember our days of learning were like more like bunking the classes and all that kind of thing. And garibu ki chai and all that thing on the corner. So but we were serious. Don't take it wrong, otherwise we could not have passed. Our professors were very strict, you know. So we could not have passed the engineering college just like that. But the excitement of the technology was not there at that time, so there was no computer science, there was no computer engineering. In fact, 87, when I graduated, we just know the Fortran and COBOL, or some Pascal type of course, in the final year. And my journey, I've been always get into the more in the engineering side and all that kind of thing. So uh, one of the goals that I had, and thanks to my family for encouraging me into that, is that every year I should add some skills, new skills to my this thing. So long story short, I started getting into the software, and I started learning from there. So I'm a programmer. First, I was just the user of the technology, Microsoft Office, and those kinds of things back in early 90. I think it's like 89, 90. But then I started like going into more detail, more specific engineering, or the databases and triggers and all those kinds of things. That landed me up with the work in the Middle East, which gets me to this. I was working with SEEPs in Mumbai, and that's where they have a selection going around for the Citibank project, and that's where we started getting into some sort of the databases is triggers, and the technology, the Sun Microsystems was trying to build it up. So my career started, and that's how the US journey also started back in those days. Anyway, so coming back to this, the whole journey of the AI is now impacting as we go along. So it didn't happen overnight. Okay, I want to bring it to but first, that's going to be the agenda. We are going to cover up into the impact of the AI on the jobs and the future of the work. There's some technical aspects, some of the jobs in the career in the technology, where you can, what are the AI jobs and careers that you can build. What is the role of a software engineer is going to be? I'm going to be talking about skills to be successful in a career. See, there's one thing to enter in the career. The another one is to stay relevant and stay successful. That's a whole learning process is there. And then some of the things about the generative AI and some of those things, and then we can continue to have a good Q&A sessions and all that. So if you look into the AI ML journey, I'm just jumping it because there's been a lot goes on. But if I can say that the 1950s were the times where the machine translations were happening, the mechanical machines to the computer machines, and then some of those big IBM computers used to be. That's what been developed in mainframe we used to call, right? And then came out the knowledge-based systems, which are the people have fed the knowledge into a system, and it can actually respond you back with certain kind of responses that are already been, as a decision has already been made, and it's just been produced it out, right? So now what we have is in a Bronze Age is the time that I entered into this in this area. I can say 1993 to 2012, which is a statistical area, which is some people call it as a business intelligence area. Some people call data warehousing area. That's the era I started, where some sort of a metric calculations from the from the structured data, which is what we call it as a mathematical models started coming out from there. So that was a kind of like a lot of statistical um, value started coming out, mean, mediums, and modes. Those kinds of terminologies started coming out from there, and people were crunching the data, but it is not in the very large, uh, in the very large sense. That means there was a data, few gigabytes. Gigabyte was a big thing, but earlier it was megabytes, but then gigabytes, and then it started terabytes. But crunching of there was a limitation of the compute power and the storage power. So as the progression of the computer development started, like with the bigger storages and bigger CPUs, the whole era has started getting like more and more data is getting crunched, more and more data is getting computed out, more complex algorithms are being created out, uh, and then all the things started in 2013, what we call as an iron age in terms of the AI/ML world. So it's a pretty interesting era that I've gone through in 1993 to present, actually. So, so in this deep learning, machine learning is not something very new today. Okay, it's been there for a while, but the thing is that it is coming to the forefront and everybody's talking about it is because of the compute power and the storage. This is now we have a simple laptop can have uh, 100 GB of storage in your laptop right itself, right? So you can have those kinds of power coming to the individuals, or the cloud. You have a terabytes and terabytes of data. Those things are coming. What has changed suddenly is the generative AI, which has come out in the last 2-3 years with the open AI coming up with the chat GPT type of things. And that becomes like a talk of town, and everybody was suddenly taken up this thing. What is this AI is? What is this AI ML going around? And a subset of machine learning is actually artificial intelligence. We have been doing the artificial intelligence before. It is just that we have been doing it on a structured data. That means the data has been labeled, that people know about the data, and somebody is saying that this column is a column A, column B, if you know the databases, and somebody defines that data. What has happened in the chat GPT models, or the LLMs, or the foundational models that we are talking generative now, is that unstructured data is getting into the place. And so when these models do the prediction of the unstructured data, it can also label the data. And once it is labeled, like it is a simple thing, if you have a lot of books and you label it properly in your library, it's easy for you to find the book in the library, right? So that's what the labeling is about, and that's what these new generational models are doing it on unstructured data. So now the world is open. Suddenly the world is so open that it can actually read the machine languages. It can read the millions and billions and trillions of web pages around the world. It is such a large thing now. Suddenly the whole host of knowledge is being opened out because there is a breakthrough into this prediction of the next word, what we call in the generative AI. Okay, so I'm just going to skip some of the slides, but if you are getting it, you will be able to also see that we are also entering into an era of co-intelligence. That means the technology earlier, if you notice that in the earlier technologies, we have something called general purpose technologies, okay, which is like steam engine. If as I can go like 120 years and 30 years back, steam engine is a very general purpose technology. This is also another word called GPT kind of a thing, but it's not that GPT here, but it's here. General purpose technology means, which has been widely applied, widely used. The technologies, so once the steam engine was built, you have the locomotives, you have the diesel engines, you have cars, you have all sorts of engines. Everything that is driven by the gasoline or petrol or diesel, or those things have started coming up, and suddenly people see, I can now, earlier, like, you can have the horse carrying one person, and now the carriages carrying 10 people, but now there is suddenly a locomotive or a train carrying thousands and thousands of people in the one time. So it's a leveraging of the technology that has happened. Now, uh, similarly, in your lifetime, you have seen it. Well, most of you might have not. I don't know whether you were born that time or not, but the internet was the another general purpose technology when the internet was started. And the introduction of the internet, I can put it this way, is that when you see the web browser, okay, the web browser thing is started somewhere around. It started way back, but effectively commercialized got like 1994 or something like that. So people started, and I still remember using it for the first time and for directions and other things. It's a whole different story, but that's the general purpose. Now today, you can't imagine yourself living without internet. Can you imagine it? I don't think so. Can you? Everything is dependent on the internet technologies. Our lives have become so intermingled with the internet that we just cannot believe it. I mean, like your iPhones, whatever you do in your work or off work or phones, it's everything is connected. Everything is in on internet. If there is no internet, then suddenly you feel disconnected from the world. Right? You will say, "Man, I'm just socially outcast." Now, what has happened is with the AI is the next frontier, just like an internet for all of us. Okay, it is so advanced. It is so advanced. It's going to touch your lives just like that. Today only I was reading it. Apple is going to work with the OpenAI to create the phones which are going to be driven by the ChatGPT. Okay, with this big LLMs and the generative AI. Let's call it generative AI. Okay, so their phones are in the future are going to come. Imagine that. I mean, the web is already conquering it. We have this year, from January to this month, month of April, 4 months. Um, 4 months, we have 5,000 applications already been developed for in the AI space. Okay, so there are three places the development is happening. One is happening in building the tools and the platform for the AI, okay, which is generative AI and AI, robotics, and other things. So there's a technical skills required in that area. Then there is a generative AI, which is going to be helping you to increase your productivity. Okay, and the third one is the where the general users who are not they are for the conveniences, your appliances, your something like Alexa and Siri type of things that you are already using it, but they're much more advanced, is going to come out from there, because now they are going to be including the images, and they are going to be including the sounds, and there's going to be a whole host of things, and only we can imagine it. Okay, so there's a lot of things coming across in this. One of the craziest thing that I've heard in Silicon Valley in last month or so is that the NVIDIA CEO is saying that the software will be written by the chatbots, and it's going to be supervised by the super AI. That means what is going to happen to the humans, right? I mean, the question was immediately is everything is going to be done by them. So it's going to be so worry not. Humans are still going to be there, but the humans are earlier we say that man behind the machine. That means man behind the computer is more important. Now it is going to be the co-worker of you. It's going to be a co-intelligence. It will be somebody who's going to make. It's like a personal assistant to you. Okay, and I'm going to demonstrate you how it is going to work out for the softwares guys, for the a administrator or admin or anybody who's in the want to use it. General technologies, I'm going to share with you in my demo. Okay. The automation, I mean, like the impact of the AI, as I already covered, is immense. Okay, some of the things that I can talk about, like, is all the jobs that you can see are repetitive. Those kinds of things are going to get automated straight away. Okay, if somebody is thinking, like, customer service, you already seen the bots coming out on the customer service side and other things. You have already seen the things are much more, but they are going to become more intelligent. They are not going to be how are you type of things. They are going to be actually be interacting with you and intelligently interacting with you. So there's going to be an intelligence coming out. So there will be less and less human coming into those sectors. A lot of logistics and other things are going to get automated out. Um, the market research and the data science will see the biggest changes because of the AI ML kind of thing. The research is going to explode, because right now the research is a very time consuming process, because a lot of data is collected, then the analysis is done. It takes weeks and months, sometimes years, for the discovery of certain in the genome, or the science which is going around in pharmaceuticals, or the medical sciences which is going around. So there's a lot of analysis is done over there before one medicine comes out, right? But this is going to become fast. The discovery is going to become very fast. So that is a big thing coming. Assistance, everybody will have their personal doctor in the future. Everybody will have their personal, you can say, expert advising you the things. Imagine, like, 7 billion people in the world having their own personalized doctor. I mean, I go to one of my physician, and it's like he's going to be duplicated out to the rest of the world. So what a great. So the cost of medicine is going to become very low. Okay, because of these technologies. The biggest advantage that you get is that they are scalable and they are transferable. Okay, when it is developed, it will become so. The humanity is actually going to be better. Okay, that's what the visionaries in the valley and other places in the world, they are predicting about the new future. Okay, so will the question comes very natural, that is the artificial intelligence going to replace the human jobs? And answer lies in certain in what type of jobs. We have to think from that perspective to get it. So if a job is very repetitive, or somebody hires you, let's say if you're a new graduate and somebody says, oh, I just want you to do this and this, and you think that this work is going to be like, it's a daily ka work, bolte हैं ना अपना daily का काम है अपना करने का, तो वो that kind of a work is the first work which is going to get automated, because what they are going to be doing it is that how can I reduce your manpower from there and use it somewhere else. Okay, so AI is going to be more enhancing. They will use the jobs, humans in the jobs will be used where it can enhance the AI, rather than it can actually where the AI is going to replace the humans, is where there's too much of the repetitiveness and other things is there, and productivity is less in that sense. Okay, so that is one area. One of the things that is still the AI won't be able to do it for the next 10, at least for the next 10-15 years, is that it will not have the feelings, it will not have the emotions, it will not have the something called a similar human, a machine human. That's not going to be possible. Okay, and so any complex problem solving that you have to do it, right, the human interaction, where the human interaction, the planning sessions, the brainstorming sessions, where you are discussing the things, discussing the ideas, that will not happen through the AI. Okay, AI, humans will still be doing. So the knowledge, what we should be doing it, the knowledge discussions are going to be with the human. And who are those humans who are going to be? the one who actually understand how the AI is built and how to use an AI. Those people, those workers are going to be more intelligent, and they will be more hired faster and better, with the better salaries and better compensations, because they understand uh, how to deal with this new environment. Okay, so when you are getting out from this college or some, you're trying to get into your careers, you got to keep this thing in the mind, that you are going to work with another coworker, and is sometime is going to be your coworker, sometime is going to become your boss as well. But you are then the one who is going to be managing it with that. Okay, so let me quickly dive into to show you how actually I have seen it working it in the uh, a perspective of how does the thing works in into the generative AI or LLMs or the things that. So I have an Google Cloud account. Have you, any one of you have used this one, Google Cloud? Are you guys using, right? So all I
Yes,
did.
sir.
Oh, good. So maybe you can go out. So there is something called Vertex AI Studio. You can use that from Vertex AI Studio, and then you can actually try um, some of these prompts that you can actually try it from there. So I just play around with these things, what it can do, what this new model is now going to be doing, the language model, this vision model, the speech model, and how they are doing it. And this is a good place that I do it. And so I just created out something for myself and said, okay, where is if I want to do it from my own understanding, you know. So this is my so let's say I put this image. Okay, I just uploaded this image and I said, okay, can you explain me this image? What is this image looks like? Um, if you notice, this is something also, and I want to show you. So you know about the Grammarly? Is anybody? No. Okay. So this this is small, this thing, right? This is a plugin into the Chrome actually, and this is an AI assistant for me. So if I'm writing a paragraph in English and I want to make sure that it is actually written in the right grammar and the right sense and all that kind of thing, this is a new thing that they have introduced. They're not just doing the spell check for me, they're actually
Correcting the
doing
grammar.
the grammar and the tone and they can explain. So it can go out to the large model, and it's going to actually give me a lot of other input that I needed, but not precise, not to the extent that chat gpt can give. So there is a level of AI interaction, but these are the small things that are going to come out in your life. Okay, so if I just click onto this one now, so what is going to happen is that it's going to this is it is reading, it is actually analyzing this picture and then giving me what it's collecting the data from the internet and explaining me what um, this image is about. And if you notice that, so the representative as a scattered dot, a raw or unorganized meaningless information, data, information, knowledge, mind. So if you see this, it is actually trying to explain to you this picture. Okay, a data is nothing until it is being labeled for some information. Then once the information is there, then it becomes knowledge. Knowledge becomes insight, because that's where the people say, okay, fine, you can connect the few things up. And when you have a more and more knowledge and insight, you have more wisdom. Okay, do this way and that way. That's what you go and learn from your professors, because they have the wisdom, that they have seen the students, hundreds of students like you, right? So they can tell you, no, solve this problem this way, or they have already done that, or they have already explained to that. So we always go into those kinds of things, right? So this model is actually explaining all that to you in such a easy way, right? Otherwise, I'm just going to be staring it and trying to understand from here and trying to do the Google and all that kind of thing. This is one example. Another example is that same thing I did it for, I just put one of the slides I have. I said, okay, fine, I'm going to put this slide and say, slide, tell me what it is all about. And then, so I have put this foundational model, image, and they just started giving me the explanation about the foundational model, how it works, what it is going to, where it is going to be used, what it is going to be. So I was super impressed about, so many things you can do. Same thing you can imagine this. You put all these things together, you can actually create an application out of it. You just don't have to use only one thing, right? You can have the sound, you can have the image, video, anything, you can do it. And then you start putting it all together. Suddenly you are like, you are now, you can say like, you are a web expert. Somebody says, okay, put me a website and a mobile application for all this thing that I'm doing it. And then you just start creating the content out of it. And this content can be created right away from these kinds of tools, right? That is a productivity. Otherwise, you have to go out and find the developer, find the team, build this thing, pay the money. Now in 3-4 hours, I can actually complete all my project, right? So that's an advantage. Another things I want to show you is that this is something that is, so I just want to know, because I'm not that great in, Python. I just learned it, right? I'm just Python. I learned Java, I learned C++ in my career, but Python is something new in few years back, and I'm still struggling with Python, but I can do only so much, but not the very complex Python. It's still something of full-time work. I'm not a full-time Python developer. So, but if a work has been given to me, that just like 2 weeks back, my boss in Google came and, Samir, we are actually going to be migrating this 200 programs, and you are in one of those, team member will be assigned some X number of programs to translate it into the newer engine. I said, okay, fine. I mean, I can do that, but I'm not a great Python programmer. I said, don't worry about it. You can figure it out. And he went away. I said, I figured it out. So then I went turn it around and myself, and I said, okay, fine. I'm going to use the same Google thing, and I created the shell program from the Python right away. And the way I did is that just I'm explaining you here. I have just asked Copilot that can you draw a square, okay? So the Python, it generated give me in the Python environment and the Python code, and it just gives me the code here, okay? So I mean, like, I don't need to start writing it from the blank how to do the things, right? I don't have to be super expert in Python to do this. I just can just get my work done in Python. That's what the world is happening. Just get the work done. There's no time for learning. The only time for learning is that learn how to use these kinds of tools. That's the only time you're going to get it in the future. The world is going so fast. Okay. And if you want to be in that world, I mean, there is always a world that you can decide upon it. You can decide not to do anything also. That's another world. But if you are an ambitious, you want to do some things, you want to make your career out of it, then you got to be serious about learning these kinds of things. And that's what another thing that I did is that I've asked Copilot to actually, I have submitted a spreadsheet right here. So I asked spreadsheet something like this. I did it. So there is an expense sheet here. I have and it does that for you right away. Expense, I can get it right here. CSV file. So let's say if I can, yeah, right here. Okay, so I uploaded this file right here. Okay, and so I'm saying that you know, let's say, give me the total uh, expense from this spreadsheet, right? So it's going to read this file, calculate it out for me, and give me the total expenses. So I don't need to actually open up the spreadsheet. I don't need to analyze too many of this. All I need to know is that, hey, you know what, I need to learn, which is called prompt engineering. So this brings another interesting topic to for learning, is that prompts, how to actually create the right prompts so that you can ask the right questions, because the behavior is going to be based on the type of questions here. So your learning is actually you do that. Another one that I use a lot of time is perplexity. This is another favorite of one of mine. I just learn it from my own this thing, how this thing works, what is there, because also I get the benefit of actually citations. What is the source of information? Because it can tell you something, but what is the source of information? Why it is like that? So this is how I actually uh, use it in my day to day life. In even though I have an experience, but actually I am enhancing my productivity by going through these things. Okay, so that is an exciting change. How these things works, right? So it's a very, as I explained to you, the change which has happened from the previous to now is that the AI neural networks are now at the forefront. That means the neural networks are the ones which are neural networks. If you say, think like, the suddenly the AI got the brain. Okay, so the AI got the brain, and then the brain is like a neural networks, and it can actually enable. So let's say if you are given some information, your eyes and your brain are going to analyze that one up and just say, okay, this is red, this is green. I'm going to keep it in the red bin, and the green on the green bin side. And that's what it can do it for you. So this foundational model that they have created out can actually read the unstructured data. That means that doesn't have to be labeled, as I explained earlier, and it can then handle variety of jobs because of that. And all those things that you're thinking about, the task like question and answer, sentiment analysis, information extraction. I showed you the information extraction that I showed you example, image captioning I showed you, object recognitions I showed you, like it recognizes the images and tells you about that. You can put the picture out there. It can also tell you. Earlier, you have to tell the picture that if you show the picture of a dog or a cat, you have to label it that dog looks like this and a cat looks like this. Now it can analyze by itself that this is a dog. Why? Because it has a model that actually goes and learn from the internet and say cat looks like this and the dog looks like this, and then from there it makes the 2 plus 2 together sense, and then it said, okay, this image is equivalent to the cat, and that's what it shows you right here. So this kind of a work is happening here in this foundational models. Okay, so now the role that we are playing in the this is where one of the job roles are actually going to be. Okay, your job roles is going to be one of the job roles that I say is going to be in building these models, building this infrastructure, building up these training sets or data pipelines, or the work which is involved in we call it LLM ops operations. Operations means day-to-day running of these models, managing these models, changes in these models. That's an IT work. That's an information technology work. That's a software engineer's work. So there's going to be a work here, right? So, but again, there's going to be work, but the speed of the work and the productivity is going to be the one which keeps your career moving. Okay. So we're coming to the point now, which is says what is an AI jobs in the career, in what and how the AI is impacting the business landscape. I'm going to cover what current. Uh, I can I yeah. You have a question? We are coming
Yes,
on the
sir.
top of the hour.
Could you do full screen, please?
Oh, sure. Sorry, I should have done that. Is that better?
Yeah, all
Sorry.
right, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, now, yeah, because only for the demonstration, I need that, and I think I'm running on the top of the hour here. So maybe give me. I will run the slides faster because you are going to get the rest of the slides and doesn't require too much of the explanation, but it's more information for you to actually how to proceed further. Okay. So we are going to cover up these ones up. I've already talked about this slide, this repetitive task, where it is some additional information for you to really, some of the advanced cases, some of the use everyday cases, some of these is science industry. It's interesting reading. You can go for it. This is something very, very, very uh, insightful for you when you are applying for the jobs or when you're trying to figure it out your career and all that. If you notice the numbers, percentage change is most on the information manufacturing, um, and the retail trade. So this is the places where the AI is actually uh, is working very is being adopted very fast, or the development or the teams are building up, they are hiring the people. These are the where the jobs are concentrated. So these slides will give you slightly a better idea. So when you are applying for the jobs or you're looking for your career to build, you can pass you the content that I've shared with mine. You can use it. Is always been the email, which is easier for me. But if there is something that I can do for you, you can feel free to WhatsApp me as well. I'm sure that this channel is going to be active, so we can continue to contribute towards your success. Okay. So one thing you need to understand is that job roles, job functions, job skills. Okay. You say I'm good in the Python programming. You can say I'm good in SQL programming, or maybe you're learning some things from software engineering perspective. You are very good in that. And believe me, I mean, right now you are coming out from the college. You may not understand fully all these things up, but some of the things you are already in the process of learning, right? The thing is that you have to understand what is the function of these, where these skills are used. So read the slide backwards. It's like what skills are needed for which functions and for which roles, because when you have a right role, that's where your career will start. Okay, what is your role? I mean, if your role is a developer, then what kind of skills that you need, what kind of functions you can go. So when you apply for these positions or the jobs in the high tech industry, you cope with this, and you can connect with me more about it. I'll just give you some examples on this. And some of the topics is good because they will ask you the questions around these ones, or you might be working in one of these areas, or maybe the combination of the areas. Okay, so like I can work in the data engineering skills. Uh, as I told you, my grade level on the Python is medium, not expert. Machine learning is I'm expert in that. Data Python expert. Everything else is fine, but the Python is I'm medium, right? So if there is a job required, which say you have to be the Python programmer and you are going to be the, so that means they want somebody who is expert. So I may not be a good fit for that. I'll not apply for that job. Even though I have an experience of so many years, doesn't mean that the job is like I'm just going to get that job. No, somebody like you who is better in Python, has more skills in Python, understand the NumPy and pandas and those kinds of things that you guys are already using it. I may not be. the one. So you get the better advantage, and that's how it is. Hiring is done in here. Hiring is not done based on number of years of experience. It's based on knowledge based hiring. And one of the things I like in US, it's a positive thing about the US is that this there is no recommendation and call that kind of thing over here. If you qualify for the position, you get interviewed and you interview well, you get selected. I've been to not just to one job. I've been to many jobs. I've been to many side projects as well. It's totally you are competitive enough. Your knowledge has you should have a knowledge that they want it for you to do the work. Okay, so and they are then willing to pay for you. Okay, you get good pay actually, but you got to be skilled. And believe me, all these jobs eventually are coming back to India. Okay. So when I came here, people say, "Oh, you are here now. The jobs are going to India." I said, "Okay, fine. I know how it is going to, but there will be the work that I will be doing. It is basically in few years will be going back to India, and that is what it happened. In fact, I'm saying India is going to rest of the world, by the way. But the Indians are smart, so they are getting the lion's share of that whole world, right? So, and the beauty of these things is you don't need to be in Bangalore to do this job. You can be right there in your home in Riva, enjoy the best, you know, uh, tiger reserves of the world. Sit down over there, right, and see the white tiger and do the coding. That's about it. That's the world we are going to enter into it, and the AI is going to help you out. Because they are not going to be saying, "Hey, where are you sitting? Is it in a good office in Bangalore or good office in Singapore?" No, they're going to say what you are going to be doing it and how you are going to be doing it. That's what they so there is a like online test now. There is a Kaggle. There's a publication. I will guide you later on. That is out of the scope of this talk, but when it comes to that point, I will prepare you for that if you are interested in that. Okay. So what is it you need in this to be ready for this AI bots, right? To compete with them, right? How do you do that? So some of the pointers that I've given you, like you need to become more, capable of generating the code, which I just showed you how to easy it is, right? And but I need to be a little bit smarter in problem solving abilities. Okay, so I take this code and then I can change this code so that I can actually become a little expert. So now I am becoming, actually I was basic in Python. Okay, now I am actually medium because of the AI bot. Okay, and soon I will be the expert also if I want to be. Okay, I need to spend a little bit more time, and is that my interest is or my career is, I may do that. But I have the tool, right? Earlier, you just have a training sessions, training codes, this and that. You go like 3 months of training to learn Python, and then software knowledge is very very volatile. Okay, what is in volatile means like you learn it. If you don't practice it, it goes away. Okay, maybe for a few months you will have it, and then you say, my skills are very rustic. It is rustic because it goes away very fast, right? So those kinds of things. So you can read through it what you need. But one of the things that I live on and I always say is continuous learning. Okay, there has never been a time in my life in the year. So I told you right from the beginning, college gave me what I need to get out is that a degree in engineering, which is still I use it. Okay, but after that, it's not a college responsibility or education institution's responsibility. It's your responsibility to be the more successful in your own career, for your family, for yourself, for your quality of life that you want to live, right? So what you decided is that what's my goal is, and then you go forward with that. So my goal is that the only way that I learn it is through the learning process, because we all come from families which promotes that, hey, education is the best thing to do, right? So I always take an extra courses. Okay, I just finished up 6 weeks of AI coding, AI LLM coding. Did I understand everything? No, I understood only 50% of the things, but at least I started. Now I was telling my kids, they are also grown up and all that. Told them that you guys compete. I'm going to be doing it with you. I'll also maybe I'm not as faster as you, but I will be also doing the same thing with you, so that I can stay on top of that what you are doing it. So my another objective is that always continuous learning will help you and doing that. Okay. Um, so some of the things which is hardcore things you cannot compromise in tomorrow's world, which is if you are into this career of software engineering, you want, by the way, if you are a mechanical engineer, let's say, for example, and say, oh, I don't have to understand software engineering, it is not of my this thing. Believe me, you are in for a rude shock, because the mechanical engineering things will have an interface with the chatbots or the bots, AI bots, and you maybe require certain kind of may not be require the skills of the software engineer, but you will be required an operational skills, how to operate that artificial intelligence. At that time, you may not be building up the tools, but if you want to, you can. But also, you need to learn the generative AI and prompt engineering and other things that I actually mentioned it here. The learn the prompt engineering. No matter if you are a civil engineer, you are a mechanical engineer, you got to learn all these things up, because this is how the future is going to be. Like you today, you are going to tell me that I cannot use computer because I have never learned the computer, and now you're because you are a mechanical engineer or a civil engineer, AutoCAD comes in, and you say I can't use AutoCAD because I never learned out. I am not a computer person. You will not get the job today, right? That's kind of a change we are heading out with the AI world. If you are, no matter what profession you are, let's say you are a physician, they say, oh, I don't understand this AI things and all that. This is too technical for me. No, you actually, if you do not learn how to prompt an AI, then you are not going to be using it to increase your productivity. So the AI is for the productivity, right? And so it is going to impact in everybody's career, everybody's life. Even if even if you are just into the let's say I am chef, मैं तो घर में खाना बनाता हूँ और कुछ और काम नहीं करता हूँ, still you will be using the AI bot in your appliances. You will be using it for your cooking, for learning from there. There will be a world that is going to come you and put you outdated to it. So it's there for us to really live. Some of the these are some of the courses that I'm sharing with you. You have to you have to cut and paste these links and then go to that site. Best one I like is Microsoft Generative AI, 18 lessons that teaches you and you will enjoy from there. And then there is a list of another 20, 30 that I have it at the end of my appendix. I have of the slides. I'm going to give you that one up as well. So it's a part of the deck. So you're going to get more and more of these educational sites where you can actually go. Some of the tools that I think you can start looking into it, try your hands to it. Everybody has a free version to it. Best thing about the new world is that things are free. They are you just try it, learn it, understand it. Don't have to become a master to it, but aware of it. Okay, that's what it is, And so generative AI, I already talked about it. Generative AI is more about converting your realistic artifacts, right? If you want to say generative AI, chat GPT, create a presentation for me for this alumni meet. It can do that. But I have to give so many prompts to it, right, to make it happen today. But in future it may not be that much, but today I have to give so many prompts. So it's better for me to create it but then there are certain things that if I have to create more and more of such things, then I will create a generative AI bot, and then I will try to do that. Okay. So I'm coming to the end of this session. My career advice is here. Take it seriously. I think it's kept every one of you in the mind. if this is my 30 years of experience, that I think I can give you certain better if I have to do it again in 30 years, this is what I have been doing. I should always keep in mind in that, right? Doing so. With that, I think I'm open for question and answers. Anything that I can help you out with.
It was really a great session, sir. Such an informative session. As a CSC student, I got lot of new information from this session also. So proceeding it further, I request Priyanshu and Achal to ask some questions with sir. Questions which have been coming in YouTube live session. Over to you, Priyanshu.
Thank you so much, ma'am. First of all, good evening, sir. Myself, Priyanshu Tiwari, and
Hi,
I'm
Priyansh.
pursuing my computer science engineering from our college. Currently, I'm in second year. First of all, I would like to mention that this was the most awaited session for all the CSE students, and we
Okay.
have a lot of questions in our YouTube comment section. Few
Yeah.
are like uh, one of my friend is asking that how can school and government help people help students to learn the skills they need for AI jobs.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So AI jobs, right? Now, if I can diversify to, so when you are looking AI jobs, right? AI jobs is that one is that building the AI, right? So let's say you say I want to have a bank job, right? Bank job. So what is it required for a bank job? You need to know the mathematics well, right? You also need to know statistics well, right? You have to have certain education about finance, right? So those kinds of things required for a bank job, right? So when you are doing a work, similarly, kind of the AI job, you need to learn like prompt engineerings, right? How to actually. So I one of my slides I have actually mentioned about it. So that will help you out in understanding how to operate an AI. So you are now an operator of AI. Okay. So AI jobs as an operator of AI. So that is one category. Building of the AI is another category. So most of my slides have is been about the building of the AI. Okay, where you if you want to build an AI, how do you build? What are the skills required? What is the technology required? You need to be into that. So like Python, you need to know the Python and those kinds of things. So then that will help you out in getting a job in a company which is building an AI product, and that will get you there. So, okay, so AI operations, which is I believe everybody should learn it. There's no software engineers. You are required that you go into these tool buildings because we are building right now. For the next 10 years, you are in lucky spot. Okay, because after this, I don't know. Bots, as I told you in one of my slides, actually the bots are going to build the software. They will not be requiring the humans to build it, and somebody super AI will actually monitor multiple of software codings, right? So proof, how do you debug the code and all that. It will do debug by itself. It will change. It will then compile, and it will put it into the test, and it will do the user test, and then it will also do the production deployment. It will do everything. Today we had to do everything automated, but there is a human interface between that. In future, super AI is going to take over with that. So then what will be the software engineer's job will be? Interesting question, right? But so far, until next 10 years, you don't have to worry about it. And that should be good enough for you, right? And it will be end of me, or probably I will be reading some books and something else I will be doing. I am not going to think about beyond 20, so 2035. Okay.
And sir, another question is, will there be an era where the AI will dominate the human beings?
Yes.
Can we see an era in the future like that, as we have predicted through the directors in movies?
Yes, you're right. Yes, yeah. If you've seen the movies like Terminator and all that, and it is a real threat. It is a real threat. The bad people will definitely, just like the good people want to create a medicine, the bad people creates the wrong medicine, right? So the same thing, the pharmaceutical companies, they create a good medicine for keeping us healthy, or cure our diseases, right? But then the bad people, they create the bad stuff, right? So same thing is going to happen. The actors, we call them actors, in the generic terms, the bad actor will create the bad things. So there is a real threat, but here is a silver line. Today also the fraud happens, right? Scamming happens. So many scam. My uncle just got like 2 days back. My uncle got ripped off 50,000 rupees. So he was calling me, what kind of? I said, why are you using WhatsApp for your answers? You know, so somebody sent the link to him and all that. Yeah. So the thing is that AI technologies right now is going under the immense scrutiny of bias and controls and compliance mechanism. Okay, just like early days of internet, you guys may not be even born that time, but early days of internet, it was like that. Anybody can post anything. It's like junk, right? People write everything on the wall, right? You must have seen it in India all over the place, right? So all the ads are written, everything is written. There's no compliance to it. Today, at least, there is some compliance on the site, certifications, those kinds of things. But then there is also scam and bugs. So we're still struggling for that. But absolute control of an AI, uh, like Terminator types instance is I won't say it's a myth, but it won't be getting fruitful as long as the human beings are there. One of the things about the human being is that they don't want anybody superior than them, right? So there will be somebody who will be doing something to kill that Terminator.
Definitely, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Over to you, Achal.
Sir, do you think AI will create new jobs in the future?
100. Yes. Actually, this is a very good question. The thing is, AI is going to create more jobs. It's actually going to make your job much more easier and much more fun, and you will have a much more satisfaction. Today, I have a more satisfaction in my job, in the work that I'm doing. I'm not doing a job, but I do the consulting. But I'm being more productive to my customers than I am. When I was doing the work and all that kind of thing, because they hired me for certain things, and I have always to tell them, hey, so if you hire me as a data architect, I used to work as a data architect or data engineer, so I can do only this much. Now I cannot. Now I've seen the folks like, I can do this and I can do that also, and then they are also writing the good uh, technical papers. They are writing some nice programs out there with the right outputs and all that, more intelligence into it. So there is a lot of good coming out from there. A lot of new jobs are going to come out. You don't even realize where the jobs are coming out. But one of the things that every job that I am understanding so far, even like let's say you work in a warehouse like होता है ना Amazon का type warehouse, right? उसमें बॉक्स उठा के इधर से उधर रखने का है, right? कन्वेयर बेल्ट से एक बॉक्स उठाया, सामान रखा, उसके अंदर पे रख दिया. तो अभी वहाँ पे they are using robotics, right? They are doing robotics, but they are changing that. They are saying that अभी robotics को प्रोग्राम करने के लिए you have to go to the programmer, to the software engineer who is going to program it properly. This programming is going to be done by somebody who is just educated in the prompt engineering. Okay, in fact, it may become a branch of software, or maybe a specialization in the software engineering. It's called prompt engineering. So they are going to be writing the set of English code, English in the simple English language. Go left, pick up this, go from the conveyor belt A to conveyor belt B, pull the box, put this thing in the box, do this kind English way, sab kuch, right? Or Hindi, or in the language, whatever language you want, like any language. Uh, that's the beauty of this whole thing, right? So when you are doing these kinds of things, you are empowering everybody to do this. And so you don't have to learn English. You can be good into Hindi, or you want to do Bundelkhandi, or anything that you want to do it at Bhojpuri also, you know. So it's going to be a very funny, right? Is that Bhojpuri में अपने instruction दे दिया तो काम चल गया अपना काम. Like I mostly I spent my career in Mumbai, so I learned that dialect more. So समझ लेगा वो, कर लेगा अपना काम, right? That's what is going to happen. It's an exciting future we have, but you got to be prepared because you are the engineers, you are the builders for tomorrow. Okay. So the answer is yes, lots. But you got to be prepared for it, and you don't need to be on the bottom of the whole thing. You can be on the top of the things. You can earn better. You can actually help people to learn that thing more. So you can be also the ambassador of this change which is coming. Any other question?
Okay, Achal, please proceed with the next question.
So next question related to this. So how can anyone prepare themselves to thrive in a workforce increasingly influenced by AI?
Come again. How can
Anyone prepare themselves to thrive in AI?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So I think one of my slides did mention to specifically to thrive in building the AI. So let me see if I can go down to this. So this is where I will say, okay, you got to, so Python you are all learning, right? Python is in your course
Yes,
and all.
sir.
TensorFlows, machine learning, right?
Basic Python is there, and machine learning is our core subject, one of our core subject, and
Yeah.
fifth semester.
Okay, what about the TensorFlows?
Yeah, we learn it in machine. Yeah, when we learn Python, we also use TensorFlow, NumPy,
Very good.
Pandas, scikit-learn, and
Very
all.
good. Very good. Just practice enough. Neural
Yes,
networks.
sir.
You may not be going to the
Yes,
neural network. You are going in the
we
neural
have
network.
neural networks. We have RNN, CNN, KNN,
Very nice.
statistical analysis, data visualization, and all.
Very good. So now what you are doing is you need to learn multimodal. Multimodal means speech, vision, the right, everything. Mediums, all the mediums. How many mediums have we have? All these, the mediums that I shared with you in the foundation model. So you are basically going here, foundation model this one. Text, image, speech, structured data, 3D signals, and so many other data sets. So multimodal. So you got into that. So you are learning the basics right now. Now go into the second level, which is complexities of them, many of those. But the neural networks is going to take you. That's the core of the things. Neural
Yes.
networks. CNN. Okay, good. You guys are. Man, I could have been.
After 2017, ML is included as a core subject in fifth semester. Before that,
Okay.
there was no ML as a subject. So
Acha.
yes,
No. This is very good. But the most important thing is that when you are doing these ones up, are you going to participate into some competition, code competitions? The hackathons hoti hain.
yes,
So
sir.
you get yourself more and more in front of the challenges. You don't have to think about like winning the challenge all the time. Even the participation, even attempting, trying it is the core
Yes,
of
sir.
today's world. Yes. Yeah.
Samaya, sir, I'm honored to inform you that 25 teams from our college has been participated in Smart India Hackathon. Two of the teams selected in grand finale, and my team won the Smart India Hackathon 2022, sir.
Oh, wow. I'm honored. Talking to
So
such
yeah,
a
colleges,
distinguished students, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is how it works. This is how,
colleges, act, colleges are actively participating in this evolving technology and also.
Very nice, very nice. See, this is what it is, and guess what? You once you have that one up, you are actually, your mind is very clear. Okay, how these things are built, right? Now somebody will hire you for their business problems, and that's where you are going to become solving, the business problems, and that's how you get your career started. Whatever you want to do it, right? So that is a big thing. Nice, nice, nice. Any other
Okay,
question?
Achal, we can move with the next question. Okay, I think Achal, are you there?
Achal is on mute, or Anchal. Sorry.
Is Priyanshu? Any other question?
Yes, sir. We do have a question, sir.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
so, as in today's session, we talk about AI, sir.
Mhm.
Some people are asking about blockchain. That is there any scope that blockchain will be also the future of like the tech industry, and can software engineers should go towards the blockchain as we are going towards the AI and ML?
Yeah, the blockchain, smart contracts, blockchain, these are
Yes.
all the part of the machine learning era, right?
Yes.
As I mentioned, that machine learning is the key for that, for the structured. So blockchain falls under the structured data sets, which has already been, a lot of work has been done. The there is a lot of companies which are doing all the bitcoins kind of a thing, and all the finance kind of thing is there. So there is a lot of work is already being done on the blockchain in 5 years back, right? The new companies, but the financial companies are little bit okay. So whenever the new technology comes in, just like AI right now is coming up, right? Finance companies, if one of my slides when I shared with you, the finance companies are going to be like 4 or 5 years behind adopting these technologies. They will adopt it because the blockchain does come into certain financial domain. The work will come once the AI development is kind of like reaching to that point, that the finance companies, the financial institutions actually start thinking about, like, yeah, it is safe to play here. It's safe to build now, right? Then they will start putting up the blockchain. So the work will come, but what kind of work will come? Because the blockchain is more about this. Blockchain is like, it's like a general ledger. Okay, so it's a digital ledger. Okay, you are writing credit and you're writing debit, but nobody knows who owns it, kind of thing. So there is a lot of things involved into that, but it is, digital currency is going to become, it's going to become the future. And one of the things that automation is going to take over for it, a major part of it. So the next phase, if I may say, 2030 or 20, somewhere I was reading it, um, is going to come out in massive financial digital currencies, and all the things, kind of things will come out. That time the blockchain is this thing. But enough development has been done so far. Okay, right now they're getting ready for the blockchain kind of thing. Let's put it this way.
Thank you so much, sir.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. We thank you for your time. You can just end sharing of your screen. So we'll
Okay,
take a good snapshot and for a memory of our session.
okay, sure. Hold on. So I'm gonna be. Where's my stop? Yeah, it's not letting me go there. Okay. Am I seeing only on my screen? Actually, that's what the whole problem is, right? Now I'm going back into that. Stop scene here.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah.
All right, sir. So, Mayank, I think we are good for the snapshot. Please take snapshot and please acknowledge. Okay, sir. So for moving further, I request Ashish Kumar Chaturvedi for vote of thanks.
Sir, it was an honor having you here. And before thanking you, I had a question in my mind. If you
Sure.
permit, may I ask?
Yeah, go ahead, Ashish. Go ahead.
All right, so as we all know that today war will be fought on a different front, that is on cyber warfare using AI technologies and all.
Okay.
And as in defense sector as well, we can see that there are UAVs like unmanned aerial vehicles instead of fighter jets, which we are using for the tactical surveillance and all. In Navy, we are dealing with submarines and ships to be controlled by AI and all those stuff. So, what is your take on this? So, what will be the future in these war and all in next 100 years?
Yeah, the next 100 years, I don't know whether I will be there to see that future. One thing I can tell you about the rapid advancement. See, one thing we have to understand what is happening right now, okay, and which is the AI LLM thing. The latest version, I think the latest version is what they came out with, a Sora or something. And that latest version has 175 billion parameters. You guys, if you are in a, you can understand the parameters, right? I mean, the weight, and you can say combinations and permutation combination of the parameters is 175 billion. That means it can take 175 billion inputs and make a decision, right? So any of these tactical warfare, the instruments, they need millions and millions of data points to really do the precise work, what they are doing it. So they are making a lot of progress over there in the precision side and kind of like scalability side. But the important thing what they are doing it is that if you notice, all these technologies which are going around, less people less people to people type of war rather than more cyber type of things, right? So these bots are going to take over for it, right? So there is a change which is, I mean, by the way, all these technologies in America, when they come, what you are seeing it, internet, when, let's say, for example, internet, I thought like internet is new, but when I read about it, it's like in 1970 or 1980, the defense, it's always starts from the defense in America. So when they invest the money in the defense, they invest defense researchers, like in our Indian, this thing DRDO type people, they will do the research and then they create the technology out of it and then they give it to the public to use it. Okay, so if somebody has created it already, they must have already done a very advanced work. Then they will give it to somebody else to use it. So in the tactical warfare and other things, you know, again, every soldier is going to become prompt soldier, prompt engineering. They have to give. They will be actually, robotics will play a more major role than the humans, right? And managing and controlling the harsh conditions and all that kind of thing. So the robotics is the one. Unmanned vehicles are already there. You have seen it in those kinds of things. So defense, I don't know much on the defense side as such, but yes, there is an enhance. So everywhere where the human is working, whether it is a medicine sector, whether it is a research, whether it's a defense, whether it is civilian sector, engineering sector, every human who's working is going to be enhanced with the AI, with the capabilities of the AI. They will be given the tools of AI to actually do the work. right? So now if a soldier can actually do only so much physically, now with the logically also he's going to be doing more work than. So not just the healthy body, soldier has a very healthy body, but they also have a good brain, but now their whole total sum will be, productivity will be 10 times better, 100 times better, right? And that's what the speed is going around. So whoever has the resources to train their soldiers, or their defense with a large number of these kinds of things, they will be in the forefront. There's no doubt. And again, India is in a good spot. Already, right?
As I
So
rightly
because
said, you said that whatever the technological advancement are there, they firstly begin in the military side,
military
and
side,
like DARPA
always
in
they start.
USA and DRDO and ISRO in India. And
Yeah,
we don't even
this
know that what the technologies have been created since countries hide these. Uh, they keep these things as high secret and they don't release it. So we don't know which
no,
country
that's a
have.
different. The secrets are different things. Technology is different things. But then once there is a cycle of the technology, like satellite phones, for example. Satellite phones were very famous. Everybody was using it in 80s and 70s. Satellite phones were there, right? But then, but today your smartphone is a satellite phone, right? It's communicating through the satellites. It's communicating through the different towers and other things, right? So look at the technology has now come to the common man's hand. All these technologies, but it will go through its process cycle of adoption, changes, human, civilian level, those kinds of things. So, but it doesn't start. It doesn't start from the need that I need to do this to keep the things like that. So it starts from there. So other places the people do it for the money purpose, right? The market research levels. So a lot of money goes into the marketing side. So how can I reach more people? How can I do this? How can I go do that? So a lot of research, a lot of tools comes out from the marketing side as well. Then also some of the things do come out from the real pure research, for the better product or better material. But again, there are tied up certain things tied up with the defense, certain things tied up with the real need. There is a question somebody is asking me. Nikhil? Okay. Nikhil is asking, is it advisable for the first establish a strong foundation before jumping the Gen AI? Um, okay. So you need to understand the Gen AI. What is Gen AI? Okay. And a Gen AI doesn't require you to be a programmer unless you are building the Gen AI. Okay. If you are building a Gen AI, then you need to be a programmer. But to use a Gen AI, you don't need to be a programmer. That's what the whole point about the Gen AI. Generative AI is for the general purpose AI, right? So the examples that I showed you, I don't need to be a programmer. I just need to learn how to use the technology. It's just like, how to learn to use a car, right? Or a scooter, the same thing. You don't need to know how the scooter is built. I mean, of course, everybody's knowledge, general knowledge is great, but what are you going to use for it? Okay, right? But if you can't use the scooter to go to point A to point B, what is the knowledge of that? How the scooter is built is going to make a difference, right? So what is that you want to do it? So it is a good idea, yes. But as an engineer, if I'm giving an advice to an engineer, I will say as an engineer, you need to understand how does the Gen AI works, and that is the right thing. So establish the first your strong foundation, understanding how the things works, and then you will be able to then learn how to use the tool. I mean, like, okay, fine, we know a scooter works this way, accelerator is here, brake is here, but then do you know how to drive a scooter? That's a whole different ball game, and that is what the Gen AI is. Do you know how to drive a Gen AI? Right? That's a good point. Best framework for LLM. That's a very technical question. So, frankly speaking, I will skip to that because this is a bigger debate. This is a different thing. Um Lambda, sometimes Lambda gives you better. Um, So, but that's my personal opinion. But no hard and fast right now, because every framework has its own this thing, and the people. And by the way, the people are building their own LLMs, right? So who knows who's going to be the good ones to come out in the future? But um, I'll go with the lambda index or something, that some of those ones. Any other question?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir,
Welcome.
moving to the end. Ashish, you may proceed with both of them.
Yes, yes, ma'am. On the behalf of Riva Engineering College, I want to express our heartfelt thanks to our esteemed alumni for joining us in today's live webinar. We deeply appreciate your invaluable insights and expertise, which have greatly enriched our community. Your dedication to sharing your knowledge and experiences is commendable and truly admirable, and it has undoubtedly inspired our audience. Your willingness to support the next generation of professionals is truly admirable, and the wisdom you shared will guide many on their path to success. We are sincerely grateful for your time, passion, and unwavering commitment to our institution. Your continued engagement strengthens our alumni network and fosters a spirit of collaboration within our community. Thank you once again for your exceptional contribution in today's webinar. We eagerly anticipate future collaboration and opportunities to benefit from your expertise. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I look forward for the follow-up sessions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach me out. And in the future, if there is a time, certainly we'll meet you in Riva. Okay? Have a good day, guys. Enjoy.
Before ending this session, I would
Yes.
like to do one announcement. We have prepared a quiz part also. After this session, you will be receiving the quiz link, Google Form link. Based on this webinar, go watch our webinar in YouTube Live and attempt the questions given in the quiz. And then you will get a golden opportunity to get something good or something nice prize in our Diamond Jubilee celebration. And sir, we will be loving to see you in our Diamond Jubilee celebration also. So we are hearty thankful to you, sir. We'll be eagerly waiting for you.
Yeah, I do have a plan to attend that. If in November, I'm working on it. No promises, but I do have a plan. Then probably I will meet you guys over there as well. But meanwhile, feel free to reach out to me for any questions. Okay, or